The second video on our probability review of probability you should know from the past. Let's have a look at a task. We've got a letter is randomly chosen from this word. Interestingly enough, the word is probability, and we've got to find or calculate these probabilities here relating to these events. So remember, randomly chosen would be like if all of these letters in the word probability were all written on, say, identical ping pong balls, and each of those letters are on there, they're put in a bag or something, and the bag's mixed around, and you put your hand in without looking, and you would randomly choose a letter. So it's that sort of situation. I've counted the number of letters, and you can see that there's 11 letters in probability. So the first thing we've got to do is remember our general formula for probability, which you might have seen given to you in different ways over the years, but here we go. This is what the general form could look like. The probability of an event is the number of favourable outcomes divided by the number of possible outcomes. The capital P meaning probability is a symbol for probability, and the whatever the event we're talking about goes in brackets. Some books use PR for probability, some books just use P. I tend to just use capital P. So we've got the number of favourable outcomes divided by the number of possible outcomes, and the first event in part A is choosing an L. So there are 11 letters in probability, so when we get our fraction happening, the number of possible outcomes is 11. There's 11 things that could happen. 11 balls if you chose one. 11 possibilities. The number of favourable, now that word favourable, perhaps not quite the same as the way favourable is used in regular conversation, but favourable means that that's the one we're looking for, the one we're interested in. If you have a look at probability, and there's how many L's? Well, there's one. It's a single L. So the answer would be 1/11. You don't have to convert it to a decimal. That's completely optional. Okay, so that's the first one. Just remember, it's important to write down the formula. Second one, probability of not L. So that relates to the previous video where we looked at the complement. So we would have, if we had back here, probability of an L being chosen, we would write it like that. In this one here, we've got the complement, which is basically means not, or the opposite. Sometimes that's written like that, probability of L with a little bar on the top. You may also like to write it as probability of L with a little dash there. And basically, it's all the other outcomes. There's 10 other outcomes. So it'd be 10/11ths, or another way of doing it is going 1 minus the probability of getting an L, which we saw was 1/11th. So it's 1 whole minus 1/11th is 10/11ths. Or you could just count up 10. So the answer is 10/11ths. The probability of a vowel. So remember your vowels and your consonants. The vowels are O, A, I, and a second I. That's 4 of them. So you go probability of a vowel was 4/11. Probability of a consonant. So a letter is either a vowel or a consonant. So we could either add all the consonants up, okay, or we could just use the complement. Probability of a consonant is 1 minus the probability of a vowel. Whoops, I spelt vowel wrong. It should only be 1 L there. And that equals 1 minus 4/11ths, which is 7/11ths. In the next part, part E, probability of a vowel or a B. So the or means we'll accept either. We're looking for either. B is a consonant, so we're looking for B and we're looking for the vowels as well. So two ways of doing it. You could just count all of the relevant things up, and we've got all the vowels first. Now we saw that there were 4 vowels last time, so there's 4. How many B's are there? 1, 2 B's. So you could go 4 plus 2 over 11, which is 6 on 11. Soon you will learn a more efficient way of doing that. The other way, I might as well go through that now. So or basically we'll learn soon, or means basically to add the probabilities together, provided there's no overlap. So probability of a vowel or a B would be the probability of a vowel plus the probability of a B. Probability of a vowel we saw in part C was 4 on 11. Probability of a B was 2 on 11. There are two B's there. 4 on 11 plus 2 on 11 is 6 on 11. You can see they give the same answer. When we get to more sophisticated probability work, we'll see that that one actually is more efficient. It might not be for this little question, but you will see in this unit coming ahead that it is more efficient to use the addition. Anyway, more about that in a future video. In the last one, we've got to find the probability of a vowel or a consonant. So, two ways of looking at that. You can use your direct knowledge, you know that letters are either vowels or consonants. Therefore, that will be 11 over 11, which is 1. That's a certainty, isn't it? Because if you do choose a vowel or a consonant, if you do choose a letter, it will be a vowel or a consonant, so that is a certainty. You could look at doing it the same way here. It's the probability of a vowel plus the probability of a consonant. So just quickly we can put that in. Reason why is because remember you can use addition with or, and we'll look at that more in a future video. So that is probability of a vowel, which is 4 on 11. Probability of a consonant is 7 on 11, and 4 on 11 and 7 on 11 make 11 on 11, same answer as above.